Hey everyone, and welcome back to the Dream Careers podcast. I'm your host, Craig, and today we're diving deep into one of the most persuasive and damaging aspects of modern work culture: hustle culture. Now, you know the one I'm talking about, right? The idea that to achieve success, you need to be working 24/7, sacrificing sleep, your health, your well being, just a grind and get ahead. It's the glorification of being constantly busy, of never slowing down, and always pushing harder. But here's the thing: hustle culture, it's overrated, and it's actually hurting your success more than it's helping. In this episode, we're going to break down why hustle culture is toxic, and more importantly, why it's time to ditch the grind mentality in favor of smarter, healthier strategies that will actually get you ahead without burning you out. By the end of this episode, you'll understand why working non-stop is not the answer and how you can start achieving more while living a more balanced, fulfilling life. Ready to break free from the hustle? Let's get into it. Hustle culture has been sold to us as the key to success. Everywhere you look, on social media, in the workplace, in the lives of self-made entrepreneurs, the message is clear. If you're not working non-stop, you're falling behind. It's easy to fall into this trap. We live in a world where we're constantly bombarded with messages that tell us we need to be doing more and more and more and more. The more hours you put in, the more grind you show, the more success you'll get. But here's the truth, right? This approach does not work in the long run. Sure, it might look productive on the surface, but deep down, it's taking a toll on your body, on your relationships, and your mental well-being. Here's the first issue, right? Hustle culture makes us equate success with exhaustion. It tells us that in order to achieve our goals, we need to burn the candle at both ends. This leads to fatigue, burnout, and ultimately a decrease in performance. The constant stress of trying to meet every deadline, answer every email, attend every meeting leaves us drained. And when we're drained, we can't think clearly. We can't be more creative. We certainly can't lead or perform at our best. So in trying to achieve more, we actually end up doing less. The truth is, the more time you spend working hard, the less energy you have to focus on things that truly matter, like creative problem solving, strategic thinking, or your long-term growth. You're caught in an endless loop of tasks and tasks alone, with little time for reflection or innovation. Now let's dig a little bit deeper here into the real costs of hustle culture. Because it's not just about working harder, it's about how this mentally affects the body, mind, and your life. Cost one is your physical burnout. When you push yourself too hard for too long, the body starts to break down. You might not see the signs immediately, but eventually your health will start to suffer. Sleep deprivation, weight gain or weight loss, and increase in susceptibility to illness are just the beginning. Your body wasn't designed to run in overdrive 24/7. The constant stress releases cortisol, the stress hormone, which over time can lead to chronic health issues like high blood pressure, heart disease, and a weakened immune function. You might think that by working harder, you're getting closer to success. But what's the point if your body is falling apart? Now, the hustle culture doesn't care about your health. It cares about results. But without your health, those results won't mean much in the grand scheme of things. Cost number two, mental exhaustion. Now, it's not just your body that gets tired, it's your mind too. When you're always hustling, you're constantly in work mode, You're never giving yourself a chance to truly rest and recharge. This can lead to anxiety, depression, and a lack of focus. It's the mental equivalent of running on empty. You're working harder, not smarter, and it's starting to show. Creativity and problem solving become harder, and you're likely to find yourself stuck in a rut. The hustle leaves no space for critical thinking or innovation, which are both essential for long term success. And here's the kicker: mental exhaustion leads to poor decision making. You're not thinking clearly anymore. When you're burnt out, every decision feels like a burden, and even simple choices can be overwhelming. So while hustle culture tells you to work through the exhaustion, it's only causing the decline in your ability to make good decisions. And cost three, your damage to relationships. Hustle culture doesn't just affect your work, it affects your personal life too. If you're constantly working late, missing family dinners, or cancelling plans with friends, your personal relationships can take a serious hit. Over time, the people closest to you may start to feel neglected, which can lead to tension and isolation. It's easy to justify these sacrifices by telling yourself that you're doing it all for your family or for your future success. But without nurturing those relationships, what are you really working towards? True success is about balance, not just about achieving career goals at the expense of everything else. While we prioritize hustle over relationships, we risk losing very things that bring meaning to our life. After all, a successful career without meaningful connections is a hollow victory. So now that we've covered the negative side of hustle culture, let's talk about something much more important, which is what real productivity looks like. Real productivity is about working smarter, not harder. It's about setting clear goals, focusing on the task that truly moves you forward, and eliminating the distractions that waste your time. Instead of glorifying the hustle, let's redefine what it means to be productive. Smarter work is about prioritizing your energy and time. You don't need to work 16-hour days to achieve your goals. In fact, working longer hours often leads to diminishing returns. Instead, focus on quality over quantity. What are the most important tasks that will move the needle forward? What actions can you take today that will give you the biggest impact tomorrow? And let's not forget about the importance of deep work. It's better to spend focused time on one important project than juggling a dozen small, unimportant tasks that don't bring you closer to your end goal. By prioritizing, you avoid the trap of looking busy rather than being productive. In order to stay productive, in the long term, you need downtime. Now, rest is not a luxury, it's a necessity. When you allow your brain and your body to rest, you're actually giving yourself the opportunity to think more clearly, solve problems more creatively, and perform at your best. Without rest, you're running on fumes. You're like a car with an empty tank. No matter how much you try to accelerate, you're not going anywhere. By the time you start to recognize the power of breaks, it's important. Because in fact, studies have shown that taking regular breaks during work not only improves performance, but it also enhances creativity. By stepping away from your desk, your computer, you allow your brain to space and to reset and recharge, which leads to more effective work in the long run. Now, lastly, it's important to shift your mindset. Stop equating busyness to success. Measuring your worth by how many hours you work or how many tasks you check off your list. Instead, focus on the impact you're making, the progress you're achieving, and the overall direction of your career and your life. All right, so now that we've busted the hustle myth, let's talk about some healthier strategies you can start implementing today to achieve your goals without sacrificing your health or your happiness. Number 1, set boundaries. It's time to start setting clear boundaries between work and life. This means knowing when to say no and when to say yes. You don't need to accept every opportunity that comes your way. Focus on what truly aligns with your values and long-term goals. Setting boundaries is essential. It's about being strategic with your time by protecting your downtime and respecting your own personal space. You can work smarter and more efficiently during your work hours. Strategy number 2 is to embrace the power of focus. Instead of spreading yourself thin with a million tasks, focus on one thing at a time. Time blocking or other focused productivity methods can help you maintain high performance without burnout. Research shows that by multitasking, we accomplish less. By focusing deeply on a single task for an allotted time, you'll find yourself working more efficiently and effectively. Strategy 3, invest in your well-being. Now make sure that your self-care is a part of your routine, whether it's exercise, meditation, or simply spending time with loved ones. Investing in your well-being pays off in the long run. When you feel good physically and mentally, you perform better professionally. In fact, a study by the Harvard Business Review found that employees who maintain good mental health are 30% more productive than their peers who don't recognize well-being. So taking care of your body and your mind isn't a luxury. It's actually a competitive edge. And strategy number 4, learn to delegate. If you're trying to do everything, you're going to get overwhelmed. Delegate tasks to others, whether it's at work or in your personal life. This allows you to focus on what truly matters, and it actually helps others grow in the process. So delegate. You don't need to do it all on your own. And that's okay. In fact, the most successful leaders understand the power of delegation. They know when to empower their team members and to trust them to take on tasks so that they can actually free up their own time to focus on high-level strategy and growth. So there you have it, guys. Hustle culture is not the answer to success. Instead, take a step back. Focus on smarter work and prioritize your well-being. When you do this, not only will you achieve more, but you'll also enjoy the journey along the way. If this episode resonated with you, I'd love for you to share it with someone who might be stuck in the hustle trap. Let's help each other break free from the cycle and create careers that are not just successful, but sustainable and fulfilling. Thanks for listening, and I'll catch you in the next episode. Until then, remember, success is about working smart, not hard. Take care and keep building your dream career.